Hello everyone, welcome to Biomix Hub. Today we are in the 7th part of our series and we are going to discuss about some questions of CSIR Life Science Net. And today's main mode of discussion will be of molecular biology. Now let us see the first question. Our today's question is about lac operon. So for solving the question we have to be very much familiar with this topic. Now let us talk about the overview of glucose is the main food which the E. coli utilizes. But when there is absence of glucose and presence of lactose, lactose is also utilized as a medium. So lactose cannot be utilized directly. It needs to be broken down. As lactose is made up of glucose and galactose, when lactose will be broken, it will be converted into glucose and galactose. For the breaking down of lactose, it needs an enzyme which is known as beta-galactosidase. Now, here we will see, here we are having a regulatory gene, that is LAC-I, and a promoter is present which controls three genes, structural genes. They are the LAC-Z, LAC-Y and LAC-A. The LAC-Z is responsible for beta-galactosidase, LAC-Y is responsible for permease, and LAC-A is responsible for trans-acetylase. This beta-galactosidase is responsible for the breaking down of lactose. So, here we are having a regulatory gene which will control the regulation, whether the mRNA will produce or mRNA will not be produced. Here mRNA is of LAC-I or the regulatory gene, and here protein is produced. Now we will see what happens in case of lactose is present or lactose is absent. What will be the scenario? Now in the first case, it is the condition when lactose is present. When lactose is present, first it will divide into through the beta-galactosidase which is present in minimal amount. First it will produce glucose and galactose and some amount of allolactose. This allolactose will come and bind to the repressor protein in the active site, due to which the repressor protein cannot bind to the operator region. So the promoter will pass in this way. As in the operator region, repressor is not present. As promoter is passing, it will generate the mRNA. It will help in the formation of mRNA of LAC-Z, LAC-Y and LAC-A. And after the formation of mRNA, the proteins like beta-galactosidase, permease and trans-acetylase will produce. Now there will be sufficient amount of beta-galactosidase which is necessary for the breakdown of lactose, which will further convert into glucose and galactose, and the glucose will be utilized by the E. coli. Now we will see the condition when the lactose is absent. When lactose is absent, there is no need of beta-galactosidase to be synthesized because this beta-galactosidase enzymes was necessary for the breakdown of lactose. Now in this condition, this is a B condition. Now here we will see the condition what is taking place when the lactose is absent. When the lactose is absent, there is no formation of allolactose, and here we are having a regulatory gene which is forming, this regulatory gene is forming the mRNA by the process of transcription. After that, the mRNA which is produced is translated and protein is produced. The repressor proteins are produced. This repressor protein will come and bind to the operator region. As it is binding in the operator region, in the promoter region, the RNA polymerase which will be present cannot pass the operator region, due to which it cannot help in the synthesis of LAC-Z, LAC-Y and LAC-A, which was responsible for the breakdown of lactose. Why? Because it is placed in the operator region, and here we don't need any lactose to be broken down into glucose. These are the two conditions in present and in absence of lactose. Now we will understand what is inducible expression and what is constitutive expression. Inducible expression means the things which is induced. Here in the first condition, this is the inducible expression because allolactose is inducing for the formation of mRNA, and after the mRNA is produced, what will produce? The proteins will be produced. So it is the inducible system. Now we will understand what is constitutive expression. Constitutive expression takes place when the operator will be mutated. Constitutive expression means it will continuously express, or the formation of the mRNA and protein will be continuously formed. It will not affect whether the lactose is present or lactose is absent, or repressor is present or repressor is absent. It will not depend upon anything. Constitutively it will express. Now we will see some of the conditions where the constitutive expression is taking place. This is one of the condition of constitutive expression. See here, in this case the LAC-I is mutated. That means there is no formation of the repressor. As repressor is not formed, whether it will operator is present or absent, it does not bother about that, or there is lactose or glucose, it does not depend upon it. Here the formation, here in the promoter region, the RNA polymerase will come and bind. Here RNA polymerase will come and bind, and it will constitutively express these three genes. Because the LAC-I is repressed, it is mutated, it will not allow the protein of LAC-I to bound to the operator region. Now we will see another condition of constitutive expression. See here. Here in this case the LAC-I is not mutated. The repressor is produced, but the operator region is mutated. What will happen when the operator will be mutated? If the LAC-I is present or absent, it will not affect anything, because the binding region, which is the operator, is mutated. It is not working. So the RNA polymerase which will be present in the promoter region, it will pass to the operator and it will express the genes that are the LAC-A, LAC-Y and LAC-Z. So it is constitutively expressed. Now we will see a merozygotic condition. Now see here, in the merozygotic condition there are two chromosomes there, that is the chromosome of E. coli and a plasmid. So LAC-I, that is a repressor protein, is produced by both of the strand, now both of the genes. Now one of it is mutated. The E. coli is promoter is mutated. So the repressor cannot bind here. So the LAC-Z, LAC-Y and LAC-A will constitutively transcript. But the LAC-I which is produced in the plasmid, it will be repressed. So the transcription will be repressed in this condition. Now let us solve the question. This is our question. Now they are asking what will be the condition in P1, P2 and in the merozygotic condition. This one is a condition of P1. OC, that means O is mutated, I plus and Z minus. What will be the condition here? This is the P1. Here the condition will be no expression, because the Z is mutated. It is showing the negative symbol. That means it is not expressed. So from here we can conclude that the P1 is having no expression. So in these options, in three options we are having P1 is expressed. So only in the fourth option we are not having. So we can first of all eliminate the fourth option. Now let us see for P2. The P2 is O plus I minus Z plus. P2 will be O plus I minus and Z plus. What will be the condition here? It would be constitutive or inductive. Now we will see what is it. Now I have discussed it will be the constitutive. When LAC-I is mutated, now let us see that condition. Here we saw that when LAC-I is mutated, it will show the constitutive expression, because in the promoter region the repressor cannot bind, so that the promoter, in the operator region the repressor cannot bind, so the promoter region in which the RNA polymerase is bounded, it will go on transcribing the LAC-Y, LAC-A and LAC-Z, and it will show the constitutive expression. Now let us move to the question. So as here I is mutated, it will show the constitutive expression. Now we can eliminate the third option because we are having inducible expression. Here our answer will be constitutive expression. Now D. D means we are having a merrodiploid case. Now we can here write as, we will arrange first, inducer will come I plus OC Z minus, and the other condition is I minus O plus Z plus. Here what happens? In this condition what happened in case of a, this is the P1 and this is P2. The P1 induced repressor is positive but the repressor of P2 is negative. So the repressor of P1 can bind to the operator region of both P1 and P2. But in case of P1 we saw that the Z is negative. That means it cannot be function. It will not produce any beta galactosides. So we can eliminate this. Here in this condition it should be inducible or constitutive. The condition which is necessary for constitutive expression was O should be mutated or I should be mutated. But in this case both are positive. They are working well. So for the inducible expression we need to be giving IPTG from external source. When IPTG is given to the external source, it will work as allolactose, which is responsible for binding the repressor and not allowing it to bind to the operator region, by which the Z plus will be transcribed for the formation of beta galactose. Due to the addition of IPTG externally, it is known as inducible expression because it is taking place of allolactose. Thank you. This is all about today's question. Thank you for watching this video till the end. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for further notification.